some familiar faces and names, some unfamiliar. That's very good. All right, so let's start. Inshallah, it will be an hour. We'll spend half an hour, maybe 40 minutes, explaining some key or fundamental skills regarding reading. Okay, then we'll spend the rest, like 30 minutes, 20 minutes, inshallah, practicing. Okay, so you might, inshallah, get some use out of this workshop-lecture. So let's start. Assalamu alaikum. Ismi Fahad. I teach English at Kashif, Riyadh, and I'm a lecturer and academic advisor at the same time. So yeah, let's start with the presentation. So yeah, so the presentation will be about improving your English reading skills. Okay, so I want to ask you guys, before we delve into the lecture and the workshop, what can you tell from the title? Like, what do you expect from this title? You can raise your hand, since we have quite a lot of participants today, or type in the chat if you want.
I'm sorry, Doctor, what title?
So the title of this lecture is Improving Your English Reading Skills. So the first task, in this workshop, I want to ask you, what do you understand? Why did you sign up for this lecture? Why are you interested in this lecture? Like, what did you understand when you read? There is an announcement by Miss Ala that there is a lecture and it's about improving your reading skills. يوم قريت هذا التايتل وش كان عندك توقع؟ what do you expect? What did you understand? Go ahead, Abdulaziz. Thank you very much.
Yes, I expected to see skills that help me with my reading exam, because it's, for me, my reading is not very good. Yeah.
Okay, that's very good, Abdulaziz. Thank you very much. What about the rest? Do you have, guys, or girls, anything that you want to add?
أستاذ فهد، إذا ما عليك أمر، إذا في برزنتيشن ترى مو طالع.
sorry. نسيت أسوي شيء للسكرين. I'm so sorry. Okay. شكرا أستاذ. لا. Yes. So guys, from this title, Abdulaziz said that he expected something that would help him with exams at the college. What else? That I would improve myself on critical thinking questions. Okay. Thank you, Abdulmalik. All right. So you guys, I see that you are worried about the quiz and the assessment in general, midterms and finals. We'll try to touch on that at the end, inshallah, when we practice. However, my personal goal with this lecture is that to understand first, why do we read? Okay, and what is reading? Like, why is it, in my opinion, the most essential skill for students? Okay, أهم مهارة. Okay, أهم مهارة لغوية، سواء باللغة العربية والإنجليزية أو أي لغة أخرى, is reading. Okay, why is that? لماذا القراءة هي أهم مهارة? Okay, so let's break it down from the basics, which is, every human, learns a language. Okay, from the beginning, from birth. Okay, من يوم ما يولد، من يوم ما يتعلم، من قبل لا يولد. Actually, like when the infant, still not born. Researchers and scientists say that he is familiarizing, the amount of listening to his mother's voice makes him understand his mother's tone. Okay, so before birth we learn language. Okay, then we grow up and start to speak. Okay, by the age of 5 to 7 we can formulate sentences and ideas. Okay, then after that, you guys, when we go to school, guys and girls, I'm sorry, uh, when we go to school, we start to learn writing and reading. Okay, because they are additional skills. Okay, and more advanced skills. Okay, they are more advanced skills. Okay, why are they advanced? Why they are important? Because when you write or when you read, okay, you are actually producing. It's a productive skill. Okay, you are producing language. Okay, or you are receiving. Okay, receptive, or you are receiving language. يعني منك أنت جالس تطلع كلام ولا تستقبل كلام. Okay, listening and reading are receptive. تستقبل فيهم الكلام. Speaking and writing, they are productive. So writing and reading are essential because you can formulate your thoughts very clearly. Okay, الأفكار اللي عندك آرائك إلى آخره المعلومات, you can formulate it, you can organize it very, very clearly. Okay, so it's important, it is an additional, it is advanced. Okay, that's why you learn it at school. Okay, when you are at an older age. Okay, as a child or someone who didn't go to school, they usually stick with speaking and listening, and they get older generations didn't necessarily go to schools and universities. Okay, and they got their life by by speaking and listening. Okay, however, some of them with advancement of technology and everything and life in general, writing and reading became essential, studying became essential. Okay, مع التطور والاشياء هذه احتجنا القراءة, احتجنا نتعلم. Okay, and we cannot rely on speaking and listening only to learn. Okay, كثير منا يقول والله أنا مثلا بتعلم لغة إنجليزية أو أي لغة ثانية عن طريق مثلا إني أسمع. Okay, ولا أشوف أفلام أسمع. Okay, أتحدث مع أجانب بعض الأحيان. Okay, it's very good. It's extremely good. Okay, if you are beginner. However, when you improve and when you want to improve and you go to the next level, you need to write and read. Okay. وليش أنا قلت لكم في البداية قبل 5 دقائق 5 minutes earlier, I said that I want to focus on reading in general. Okay, because it is absolutely important. It is essential. Okay, for your academic success. Okay, you are still young, you're in the program here at Kashib, سنة سنتين هنا بكاشب, it's kind of introductory. Okay, when you go to your major, when you go to your respective colleges, okay, whether it is college of medicine or any type of college, is it the best college or whatever, most difficult college or something that is much more easier, you still need to read. Okay, reading will be essential. Okay, all the information will come from books and resource books and atlases. Okay, كلها معلومات بتجيك من atlases والاشياء هذه كلها بتحتاج انك تقرا. Okay, assessment you need to write. Okay, but today inshallah we focus on reading. So I hope it's clear why I'm focusing today on reading in general, how to improve your reading in general. I want you guys inshallah by the end of this lecture, okay, to have long-term plans. Okay, خطط على المدى الطويل, على مدى مثلا سنة سنتين. Okay, بحيث انه لما تروح للتخصص تكون مستعد. Okay, تصير القراءة عندك شيء معتاد عليه, وشيء when you read and how to read. When you are not understanding the topic because of the language, or is it because the topic is difficult. Okay, احيانا حتى بالعربي تقرا مواضيع تقول وش هذا ما افهمه. Okay, and it's your native language. Okay, so you need to reach that level inshallah when you go to your college. So this should be, guys and girls, your long-term plan. Okay, خطة على المدى الطويل, على مدى سنة ونص سنتين. Okay, أحبك ما تتخرج من الكلية هنا. Okay, by the end of this lecture we will try to focus on critical thinking, reading comprehension questions, most common questions that come in La ilaha illallah, the midterms and finals. Okay, so let's jump to the next slide. So here, what do we have? We have key reading skills. Okay, in any language, whatever the language is. Okay, there are key skills when it comes to reading. Okay, and each skill, كل مهارة, each skill serves a purpose. Okay, you don't have to master every skill. Okay, so the most essential skill, the very basic skill that will enable you to improve your reading way much more is comprehension. Okay, what does comprehension mean? Okay, comprehension معناتها استيعاب, understanding. Okay, so the goal of comprehension, okay, is to understand, to improve your skill. Okay, comprehension skill is to understand, and how to understand in details. Okay, the piece of writing you are reading. Remember you guys, أنا قلت لكم يعني في البداية, can we go back? Yes, you see here it's improving. Okay, so there is an assumption. Okay, ومن يعني I don't know يعني كلام عبد العزيز قبل شوي, I would think his English level and you guys is very good. Okay, however, we will focus on improving. Okay, so the key skill in reading is comprehension. Okay, after that comes speed and fluency. Okay, after comprehension, لما تقرأ مقالة, لما يكون عندك القدرة, and this should be your long-term goal, by the way. Okay, is that when you read any piece of writing, okay, سواء كان دورية علمية ولا جريدة ولا تويتر, okay, when you read anything, okay, any piece of writing, you should understand it in details. If you cannot understand it, you should understand that it is not the language, it is not the lack of language, it is the topic. Okay, أنا شخص يعني متخصص باللغة الإنجليزية. Okay, لما تعطيني شيء بالعلم الإحياء, okay, or chemistry, it's very hard to me to understand, especially if it's something in details. Okay, not the basic information that I learned in school. Okay, but I know within myself that the problem is not the language. Okay, I understand some keywords, I understand some key verbs. Okay, I understand kind of the idea what they are talking about, but the topic itself, the subject itself, okay, الموضوع والمادة نفسها صعبة. Okay, so comprehension with some speed should be your long-term plan. Okay, then after comprehensions, we said that we come to speed and speed dash fluency. Okay, again, I want to ask you guys and girls. Okay, you might type in the chat or open your mic, raise your hand. What is the difference between speed and fluency? Why do you think I have a slash here between speed and fluency? Okay. Okay, IELTS and TOEFL. Okay. Yes, Abdullah, go ahead.
With speed, it must be fluency, I think.
With speed comes fluency.
Yes. No one can read fastly without the fluency.
Okay. So, thank you very much, Abdullah. Anyone else want to add to Abdullah, maybe, or maybe even if he doesn't agree with Abdullah? They complement each other. Excellent, Khaled. The speed is the time which you read, and fluency is the correctness. Exactly. Okay. So, reading very fast, okay, reading quickly, okay, you sometimes can skip some information, okay, can skip some words, okay, kind of skimming, okay. Fluency, when you read very quickly and you understand everything, Okay, so fluency is an additional, step. Okay, it's a next step. Okay, usually ان شاء الله again انا حاب اني بس يعني ارجع سالفه انه الشيء هذا لكم على المدى الطويل. Okay, it's a long term. Usually ان شاء الله يعني when you go to a college, when you major, okay, in any college, okay, you will have a subject, you will understand that subject, you will understand it in details, okay, some of the key fundamentals in, a subject or a major, okay. You familiarize yourself with some words, or plenty of words actually. They call them jargon, okay, Jargon, okay, which is the vocabulary for a certain subject, okay. When you familiarize yourself with that jargon, of your major, you can read quickly, you can read fast and fluently, okay, assuming that you understand, everything, you comprehend everything, okay, you comprehend the basic words, okay, English words, okay. Then after that comes the most kind of difficult skill, okay, which everyone, struggles with, okay. Even me myself, like in my subject area, sometimes I struggle with critical assessment, okay. انه اقيم حاجه او اقيم قطعه نقديا، okay. اقول هل هذا مجرد كلام مصفوف ويبدو كويس ولا في اخطاء، okay. And what's the purpose of critical assessment, okay? To form an opinion, judgment, response, etc. okay, إلى آخره. فأنت لما يصير عندك when you read critically, okay, when you read critically هذا ما له دخل ترى critical thinking questions, okay. Again هذا بعدين عشان إن شاء الله إذا صار عندكم مشاريع، okay, بالميجر لما تتخصصون. كيف تقرأ formulate an opinion, okay, تبني رأي بناء على قراءة، سواء your opinion is negative or positive, okay, you encourage or discourage the piece of writing, okay, you think it's wrong or right, okay, or judgment, okay, or even a response to a letter or anything. So this is, key reading skills. These are the key reading skills in my opinion, okay. And today inshallah we focus only on comprehension. As I said, my plan is to help you guys inshallah for your long term. By the end inshallah, again I'm repeating myself, we'll practice some of the questions that might come in the midterm and finals, okay, critical thinking and reading comprehension questions. Okay, so reading comprehension, okay. I want you guys now and girls, okay, if you can, if you have a piece of paper and a pen, or a tablet or whatever, okay, have an empty page, and we'll start actually practicing, okay. We will look at a piece of paper, and I want you to know, I want you to ask yourself, okay, what do I know about this topic, okay. Let's have a topic. I have here something that we'll not practice on right away. Let's say, let's take this for example. So okay guys, look at this topic, look at this topic. More US students choose college overseas, okay. Before reading, the introduction, let's delete all that. Yeah. See the title, you guys and girls, and I want you to ask yourself, what do I know about this topic? Okay, what do I know about college overseas? Okay, or choosing a college. Okay, forget about US students at the details. The main topic, the main thing. Okay, what do I know about choosing a college? What do I know about college overseas? Okay, ask yourself this questions. This question, what do I know? Okay, for example, okay, when you graduated your high school, لما تخرجت من الثانوي, okay, why did you choose this university, King Saud bin Abdulaziz University for Health and Science, okay, Kasau HS? Why did you choose it? Okay, why didn't you choose to study overseas if you had the option to study overseas? Okay, what do you know about studying abroad? Okay, overseas means like away from Saudi Arabia, from a country. Okay, like in the UK, Australia, Canada, I don't know, US. Okay, maybe you know someone who studied there. You have, you know, read or watched someone who described their experience. Okay, so I want to ask you, what do you know? I want you to have a piece of paper and have something like, right, I know that blah 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 blah. Okay, have it in your mind. Okay, I know that choosing a college is based on my GPA, based on my preference, based on the major I want to, you know, choose or study, based on, you know, the field of work that I want to work in after graduating. Okay, what do I know about studying overseas, etc., etc., etc. Okay, have a minute, like think about that. Okay, after that, I hope you are trying to do that, you guys. People probably feel homesick overseas. Okay, excellent, Abdullah. Thank you very much. Personal interests and preferences. Fluency, eloquence. Kind of. I'm sorry, guys. I'm trying to keep up with the chat, but I can't. My phone is charging. Yes. Apologies, you guys. I didn't keep up with the chat. Hamid, let me take a piece of advice. Oh, okay. Exactly. Fluency comes with speed. Exactly. Yes. I'm sorry. Going back. They are connected. That a fluent person can speed, but a reader that. Exactly. Speed is a skill in itself, so being fluent doesn't impact it that much. Yeah, fluency about correctness, mate, but I get what you mean. Personal interest. Why did you choose like this college? Interest and preferences. People will probably feel homesick overseas. Okay, so yeah, this is something that you know. Overseas gonna cost more. It could be cheaper, as Hisham said, like with a benefit if you are sponsored by, you know, a government project. ممكن حتى تصير أرخص. Okay, يعطونك راتب ولا مكافأة. People may get in danger overseas. Yes, they might have some conflict, you know, culture shocks and culture clashes, you know. So yes, excellent, Abdulaziz. Student use we choose overseas. Yeah, studying overseas. Yeah, you need to change personality-wise, good way of living, and cost. Studying in English speaking country would be useful for the language, for improving the language. Hussam is saying studying abroad would require more international exam than for our uni. Okay, yeah. So there are more requirements. Excellent, you guys, excellent. I'm very impressed, Saraha. I'm very impressed. Okay, so you know all of these information, okay? Now you need to ask yourself, what do I want to know? Okay, what do I want to know? What I wonder, okay, what I wonder about, for example, maybe studying overseas, maybe about choosing a college, or maybe even about US students. Okay, maybe about US students. Maybe you know some information, but not much. Okay, so you might ask yourself, what do I want to know? Then you will ask yourself what I learned. Okay, by the end you will ask yourself what I learned. Okay, this is a practice, to improve your comprehension. Okay, if you are practicing with read theory or some some websites, you might do this practice, okay, to improve your reading comprehension. Okay, choose a topic that interests you. Okay, ask yourself, what do I know, and what do I want to know, and what I learned by the end. Okay, but why do we ask yourself? Why do we ask ourselves, these questions? ليش نسأل أنفسنا إنه وش أعرف عن التوبيك هذا أو الموضوع هذا؟ وش اللي أبغى أعرفه؟ أوكي، وبالنهاية أقول وش اللي عرفته وش اللي تعلمته؟ أوكي، ليش؟ خصوصا في البداية، ليش أسأل نفسي وش اللي أعرفه؟ أوكي، this is how you can formulate the main idea. Okay, this is how you can expect the main idea. Okay, تتوقع وش راح تكون الفكرة الرئيسية. This is how you sometimes when you listen to someone speaking, or sometimes when you speak yourself, you know the vocabulary but you can't use them. Okay, when you listen to someone, you know what they say, but when you try to respond, you really don't know what vocabulary to use. Sometimes they are not in your mind. Okay, they're not there. Okay, asking yourself this question and thinking about it, thinking about the topic before you read it, okay, helps bring this vocabulary to your mind. So when you read, you expect this vocabulary, you read fast, you understand them. Okay, لما تسأل نفسك وش اللي أعرف عن التوبيك هذا، تبدأ تستحضر بعض المعلومات، والمعلومات تجي معها كلمات. اوكي، تجي معها الكلمات هذه اللي تحس انها احيانا تعرف الكلمة هذه بس ما جت على بالك وانت مثلا تقرا ولا وانت تتكلم. اوكي، لما تصير محادثة مع شخص. اوكي, so asking yourself this question is a good exercise, okay, to sort of resurrect, so bring back these vocabulary items. They call them passive vocabulary. Okay, passive vocabulary. Okay, اللي هي الكلمات اللي تعرفها بس ما تستخدمها، ولا ما تستخدمها كثير، ما تستحضرها كثير. Okay. Build knowledge about the topic. Yeah, exactly. Maybe studying this will help with the career in the future. Yes, yes, of course. They prefer overseas graduates in some field. It will help to improve our English skills. If it's an English country, yeah, exactly. And choosing a college overseas can be achieved through sponsorship. Yeah, if you cannot afford it, and many of us don't choose that path to pay for education, because alhamdulillah, we are used to free education. Okay, so let's practice, you guys and girls. I will leave this document. كيف نطلع؟ I want the desktop. Okay. I will leave this document for you in the chat. Let me just do that. Yes, great. Where are you? Okay. It's totally fine, Abdullah. Wallahi, it's totally fine. That your vocabulary are passive. It's totally fine. Okay. Actually, it is very good. It is very good for your vocabulary to be passive, because you can activate them easily. It's better than not knowing the vocabulary. Okay, it's a process. It's absolutely fine. So شباب, Anshabat, open it. I want you guys to download, and look at this passage or piece of writing. Okay. I want you to download it and see, and maybe read. Let's say 5 minutes, okay, or 10 minutes. It's a lengthy one. Okay. Read. Don't try to answer. Okay. Just read. Skip the questions, and ask yourself how many words, or how easy or hard was it to read. Okay. Did I understand when I read it or not? Okay. It's not very long. Let's have guys 5 to 7 minutes. Okay. In the meantime, I will try to read with you. Maybe you can ask me some questions about the words, or sentences or whatever, if you have any questions in here. I want you to try this practice. It's a very, very common, practice. Okay. It's a very common practice. So try to do it now, and try to do it even when you study yourself. Okay. When you go to read theory or any type of practice that you do, try to do this exercise. They call it quill. Okay. And you can have even organizers. If you search the web, let's say quill strategy. Yes, you can see here, you can download some organizers for yourself, inshallah. If you want, I absolutely encourage that you do. Okay. It's a very good, it's absolutely important, okay, to ask yourself these questions, and try to fill in a quill chart. Okay. Have a topic, like the topic of your reading. Think about what you know. Write it down before you read. Okay. Write down what you want to know. If there is information that you are not sure of, or you want to affirm or confirm, ask yourself, what are these type of information? You can skip what I want to know, but ask yourself what I know. And after you read, ask yourself, most importantly, what I learned. Okay. ايش اللي كنت اعرفه، ايش اللي تعلمته. Okay. When you do any type of practice, reading practice, do that. Okay. I promise you, inshallah, within 6 months, inshallah, and when you go to your respective college, your reading comprehension will be off the chart. Okay. بيصير مرة ممتاز. Let's go back in here. So you have international, you have education. Okay. Maybe institute would be a new word for you. Attracted and attract. Okay. Undergraduate. Okay. So these are the passive words that I would expect you to know, but don't know how to use. Okay. Or don't know the exact meaning of, but knowing the topic and understanding some ideas in here, the basic ideas, the main idea, okay, helps you guess or predict the meaning of the words that you don't understand. I don't know. I hope you are doing any of that right now. If not, I encourage you to do it at your own time. Okay, so I honestly expected to spend more time here in the quill, but yeah. let's practice with something more engaging. So let's move on to the critical thinking and reading comprehension questions. Do I have something here? Okay. So this is a reading practice. I will leave some reading practices for you guys in the chat. Okay, and goes. Practice with these. Oops. Practice with them, inshallah, at your own time. Maybe you take one of them now and try to understand some of the questions. So let's look at the questions and try to pick some questions that might come, you know, a style of question that might come in your midterm and final. Okay, الحين بنشوف على بعض الأسئلة اللي ممكن تجي بالمidterm والفاينل. Okay, so in the reading passage, sometimes you would have, you definitely have one or two questions about pronoun reference. Okay, pronoun references. Okay, pronoun reference اللي هو لما يصير عندنا pronoun نبغى نعرف على من يرجع هذا pronoun. Okay, so let's take an example here. What does it in topic E refers to? So let's go back to topic E. We don't have a topic, but it's fine. So we have it here. Okay. So now I want you guys to, at least to write in the chat what do you think the answer is. So college education in the US is seen as a privilege and expected to cost money, and in Germany it is seen as an extension of a free high school education where one expects to be provided. He said. Okay. Who said that? Jeffrey Beck. Okay. So, to whom does it refers to here? عندنا هنا pronoun، عندنا ضمير. Okay. ولازم نعرف على من يرجع هذا الضمير. Okay. لما نقول مثلا أحمد اشترى كتاب. Okay. and أعاره مثلا ثم أعاره مثلا إلى علي. Okay. علي قال له مثلا سأعيد لك كتابك بعد يومين. Okay. So كتابك الكاف اللي بالنهاية على من ترجع؟ تصير ترجع على أحمد. Okay. ضمير هذا متصل. Okay. اسمه نقول كتابك، كتابك، كتابهم إلى آخره. So it's the same thing in English. Okay, you have pronouns it, you, him, his. Okay, ضمائر possessive sometimes. So yes, college education, excellent. Yes. So most of the time, like 90% of the time, when you have pronoun, usually the reference is in the back. Okay, unless it is passive, you know, or we are using some articles like that, these, you know, that, this, those, and these. Sometimes they come after. Okay, but usually it is before. So college education. Okay. one trick كذا يمكن طريقة انك تعرف فيها شيء وتتأكد من الشيء هذا, you know, with options. I'm keeping guys with the chat on my phone. Excellent answers. One way is to take the options if you are not sure. Okay, if you are not sure, here we have the US, Germany, money, and college education. Let's take money, for example. Okay, and replace it with money. If we say here like college education in the US is seen as a privilege and expected to cost money. And in Germany, money is seen as extension of free high school education. Does it make sense or la? If it doesn't make sense, then it is usually the wrong answer. If we replace it now with college education, we will have a correct answer. Okay? And in Germany, college education is seen as an extension of a free high school education. Okay? Same goes يعني with if you put the US, the other option. Okay? You have some topic questions. Okay, choosing the title, choosing a title, and identifying the main idea. So we can practice with these as well. Exactly, Abdulmalik. If there was a comma, is it necessary to have the referred pronoun after it? I quite don't understand, Sarah. What do you mean? If there was a comma. So if there was a comma, for example, in here, and oh, I see. Like if we have a full stop, and say it's a new sentence. In Germany, it is seen as an extension of free high school education. I would assume that's what you mean. We can still have the pronoun. But that would be a writing. But again, yeah, you can still use the pronoun. You can still use the pronoun as long as you are within the same paragraph. Yes, yeah. You can still have the pronoun. Thank you very much, Saleh. And Rayuf. You can still have the pronoun. It's fine. As long as you are within the same لا إله إلا الله paragraph. Okay? Like there is no new idea introduced. Okay? Let's take the title question. So sometimes you have these questions, which is choose the best title. Okay, choose suitable main idea. Okay, I always tell my students, and some of them are here, that these questions are sort of subjective, and they are, kind of difficult on the difficult side. Okay, because you have to make a judgment. Okay, and if you remember, here we said when you make a judgment or form an opinion, okay, you usually refer to critical thinking. Okay, however, sometimes basic comprehension can help you. Okay, لما تعرف معنى كلمة واحدة هي يمكن اللي تقول لك هذا الاختيار هو الصح وهذا الاختيار هو الغلط. Okay, so let's choose a topic for let's choose a title for topic E. Okay, here we have the options are the difference in perspectives between Germany and the US, reasons as to why education in the US is expensive, the City University of New York, the story of Jeffrey Beck. Okay, so a title. Let me check the chat very quickly. All of you are saying A already. Well, excellent. Excellent. So it is comparing two countries. Okay, it's comparative. We are comparing two things. Okay, in this scenario or this case, it is countries, United States and Germany. Okay, so again, if I want to give you a trick or a tip for a title, okay, and remember, focus, it's a title. Okay, when we focus on a title, any title, okay, 99% of the time does not include a verb. Okay, there is no verb in the title. Okay, if you have a verb, it becomes a sentence. Okay, sometimes you can have questions as titles, like in here. Okay, but you usually don't have a verb. Okay, if you have a verb, you are making it's a sentence, and sentences, you know, deliver ideas. Okay, يعني أنت already يعني جالس تعطي معلومات. Okay, so you are not serving the title. الهدف من التايتل إنه grab the attention, okay, of the reader. So when you choose a title, try to pick something that doesn't have a noun. Okay, like for example here, it is not differentiate the perspective between Germany and the US. Okay, these options are kind of hard. Unlike the main idea questions, so let's look for a main idea. This is also a very good question. Can come back to it. And I believe you would have an author purpose question. You have an imply, which is a critical thinking one. So we definitely need to come back here. Okay, so question 10 we have, what is the main idea of topic D? Okay, when you have a main idea, you need to have a verb. Okay, you need to have a verb in the main idea. Okay, so the city of Berlin could be a topic for, it could be a title for topic D. Okay, but it cannot be the main idea. Okay, a main idea الفكرة الرئيسية لازم يصير فيها verb. Okay, again, to have a full sentence that prove a point or make a statement. Okay, so let's go back to paragraph D. What are the costs of studying in Europe? Okay, so it's about money from the title. American students choose because low cost. German public university do not charge tuition fees. So we know already that it's going to be about money. They offer courses in English too, okay, which means that it is additional information. Okay, then we have an example. Okay, so starting from here, it is supporting details. So let's see. Trying to keep up with the chat, I'm so sorry. I think it's A. No, these are old answers. What do you think the main idea is for paragraph D? Read it again, you guys and girls. What do you think the main idea is? A again. Well, it is A. However, I'm so sorry. I wrote this whole thing, so I can see that there is no verb in here. Okay, maybe living could be a noun syntactically speaking. Okay, إذا نتكلم عنها بنائيا بتكون noun. However, يعني as I said, there is no verb in here, so I'm sorry. I'm sorry. يعني you can have a better main idea. Okay, if you practice the main idea questions in the book, you can see that you can always rephrase the main idea. Okay, and I would say this, if it's a main idea, it would be a weak one. Okay, I'm so sorry I wrote this exercise, so it might not be the best. Okay, however, you can replace the main idea here, paraphrase it better. Okay, but option A is main idea. Let's look at another question. Try to practice, I don't know, the midterm questions in my final. So you see here, guys and girls, these sorts of questions are the question that you cannot actually practice. Okay, because they are solely based on the information. Okay, and your understanding of the information in the passage. Okay, however, there are some that you can practice. Okay, one of them is the author purpose. Okay, the author purpose. So here, what's the author purpose؟ وش معناها هذه؟ وش المغزى؟ وش الهدف هدف الكاتب؟ It's a good answer. It's the correct answer, everyone. Thank you very much. So, what's the author purpose? You can make a judgment after reading, okay, and you can assess yourself. What's the author purpose? Okay, so وش الهدف من الكاتب؟ okay، أو ناشر هذا المقالة؟ وش كان الهدف؟ Is it to persuade students okay into studying in Germany؟ هل هو كان يهدف إنه يخلي الطلاب يروحون يدرسون بألمانيا؟ To compare studying in the US, okay, to explain why universities in Germany are free, or to tell the story of Hunter Bliss. Everyone's saying B. It's comparative comparing. Yes, it is mostly comparing studying in Germany and in the US. Okay, so you see all the paragraphs. You know, if they are not talking about the cost, if they are not talking about Germany, if they're not talking about studying abroad, they're talking about Germany. Okay. So here, for example, the topic or the title is Americans studying abroad. And they mention, you know, costs and education outside the United States. Okay. Other than that, it is all about Germany and Europe. Okay, let's since we have 6 minutes, so let's move on from the reading comprehension questions. أعتذر يعني إذا في أسئلة ما عرجنا عليها، لكن إن شاء الله يصير في segment Q&A questions. However, I tried يعني my best to be to look at common questions, titles, the main ideas, author purpose, pronoun differences. Let's look at this question since it is a critical thinking question. Okay. What can you imply when the student said it was infinitely cheaper to study in Berlin? Okay. What can you imply? Okay. Again, the word imply here. Okay. serves a specific function. Okay. هنا كلمة imply دائما تلقون بالأسئلة critical thinking. Okay. If it's not a story, okay, usually critical thinking like situation or story, and they ask your opinion. Sometimes you would have what can you infer, imply, etc. Okay. Or this means. Okay. These are common critical thinking questions. Okay. This means, or you can imply, you can infer, then you have your options. Okay, so imply serves a specific function. It's different from this means. Okay, so when you have imply, from the word imply, implication. Okay, اللي هي التبعات. Okay, so when you imply something, you're trying to guess, what happened after or before, or even what the speaker in the situation is trying to say. Okay, what is the deeper meaning? Okay, what is the deeper meaning? Maybe even sometimes imply and infer can have similar meanings. Okay, but what is the deeper meaning? Okay, or even what happened before or after this situation. Okay, so what can we imply about when this guy said, the student said, it was infinitely cheaper to study in Berlin? Is it that living in Berlin will always be cheaper than anywhere in the US? Berlin is the cheapest option he found to study. Johns Hopkins is more expensive than any other German university. And there is almost no comparison between the cost of study in Berlin and at Johns Hopkins. You think it's B, A, D, B, 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 D. I believe these are all about author purpose. So D, B, and A. It's very good. Okay. خير عندنا خيارات. So let's start with A. Living in Berlin will always be cheaper than anywhere in the US. Ask yourself, is the student, okay, imagine this is a real situation. Okay, تخيل ان هذه يعني شيء واقعي، شيء صدقي. Okay, احد يقول لك هذا الكلام. هل هو يحاول يقول لك انه المعيشة في ألمانيا أو برلين, okay, living there will always be cheaper than anywhere in the US? Okay, are they trying to say that? Okay, so infinitely here, it's figurative. Okay, metaphoric. Okay, تشبيهي. Okay, you cannot be infinitely cheaper. Okay, like for example, if someone, if they are both, have free education, free housing, free transportation, they will not be infinitely cheaper. Okay, both of them will be cheap. Okay, so here we have an affirmative word. Okay, like always. Okay, ولا must. Okay, ولا need. These words usually don't. They don't. يعني when you have this word, you can tell it's not the correct answer. Okay, usually. However, let's see what the student is trying to tell us. Sometimes you can't find the word to tell what you mean, okay, or what you want to say. So we, sorry, nobody said C. Berlin is the cheapest option he found to study. Again, he's not making comparison. He's not making comparison. If we go back, I don't know which paragraph that one was. Cheap. Okay. He told Bromberg that it was infinitely cheaper to study in Berlin. Okay, now we have more context. For 2 semesters at Johns Hopkins, it did cost him 27,000. So let's go back, and we have Berlin is the cheapest option. Again, it's not the correct answer, and there is almost no comparison between studying in Berlin and at Johns Hopkins. This would be the correct answer. Okay, this would be the correct answer. You are trying to rephrase sort of what is said. Why is it D? Yes. So we have two similar answers. I would think, you guys and girls, that you would at least delete or not consider option A and B. And يعني if we look at the context again, لما نشوف على السياق بشكل أعمق نشوف الكلمات اللي جت الجمل اللي جت قبل وعقب. Okay, we can make better assessment. Okay, in a critical thinking question, you will have a longer sentences. Okay, you'll have more context, more details. Okay, but he did spend 2 semesters at Johns Hopkins. This guy, this student. Okay, and he is trying to compare the two. Okay, between Johns Hopkins and apologies. Yes. If we look at the context again, as I said, I'm sorry, we're over time, and I wanted to have a Q&A session, like if you have other questions. If we look at the context, this student studied at Johns Hopkins, okay, and he's trying to make a comparison between the two, okay, between Johns Hopkins and studying in Germany, okay. So he is making comparison between Johns Hopkins, his experience at Johns Hopkins, and studying in Berlin, okay. He didn't make a statement that Johns Hopkins is more expensive than any other German universities. There are some private universities in Germany and they are as expensive. And definitely it's not option A and B, you guys. Apologies again. I hope it's clear, Saleh. I hope it's clear. Unfortunately, wallah, I hope I had more time to explain to you, especially the difference between this means compared to infer and imply. Okay, when you have infer and imply, it is usually something between the lines, something that is not stated clearly, or sometimes something that is said metaphorically. Okay, metaphorically وfiguratively. Okay, شيء مذكور ضمنيا تشبيهيا. Okay. You would usually have imply and infer to explain. The options would explain, would give you a clearer idea. Okay, when you have this means, you would have a rephrase, of sort of the main idea here. Okay, like if you have a critical thinking question, I have some in here. Apologies, there was supposed to be a question and discussion session, but I'm always, as always, I'm, behind schedule. But I hope I have some critical thinking questions. Let's see if I have some good critical thinking questions. Unfortunately, wallah. It's on my laptop, it's on my desktop. However, yes, Riyuf. It is similar. Imply and infer. Sometimes imply could have the meaning of what happened next. Okay, the implications of an action. Okay, or a situation or a story. Okay. And sometimes it means like reading between the lines. Okay, infer usually means like to read between the lines. I believe, I'm so sorry I'm taking so much of your time. Where is the book? I think in chapter 2. If you allow me a second in here, I'm sorry. Okay. I believe you are all English 113 students. Okay, but in English 113, in chapter 2, page 32, okay, you have a strategy books, okay, and I want you to read this strategy books. Yes, Rayof, Rof, I don't know, I'm sorry. I want you to read this strategy books, which is critical thinking and making inferences. Okay, making inferences. So, what does it say? It says like writers, authors usually state information clearly. أحيانا يجيبون معلومات بشكل واضح وصريح دقيق. However, they also often imply information. Okay, you see, they imply information. In other words, imply meaning يحاولون يعطونك المعلومة بس ما يكتبونها directly. Okay. They just suggest an idea without actually stating it. Okay. لما أقول مثلا for example I don't know, like Khalid is an extremely hardworking student, okay, and very intelligent one. Okay, you can imply that Khalid نجح. Okay. However, you can see here it says you can imply information, and it's important for students to be able to make inferences. Okay, inferences. So infer and inferences, imply and implications, usually intertwined. Okay, يتدخلون مع بعض. Okay. What is inferences? Read between the lines. Okay. Try to guess the information that is not written, that is suggested. Okay. So infer and imply can have similar meanings. However, when you make implications, okay, sometimes the word imply and implication, you can guess what happens next if it's a timeline. What happens next or what happened before. Okay. Like for example, if I say an airplane carrying passengers unfortunately crashed. Okay, you can imply that either the passengers were dead or died, okay, and were killed and died, or the airplane before flying was not checked as an option. Okay, like if I have 5 options for you and I say, what do you imply? Okay, you would say like the option says, for example, the airplane was not maintained properly, okay, or repaired. Okay, and the other options are just rephrasing the information that the airplane had an accident or whatever, you know. So this you can imply as a timeline, what happened before or after, and sometimes you can imply something between the lines. When you have infer, when they ask you about what can you infer, usually infer, it would be a rephrase, okay, of the main idea or something between the lines. Okay, this means it would be a summary. Okay, most important and basic information in the text of the question. Okay, and you have, this means the correct option should have the basic information. Okay, وش المعلومة، وش يعني هذا الشيء، وش يعني هذا الكلام. Okay, I hope it's clear. I'm sorry we didn't, I took 10 minutes of your time, but I really hope that it was helpful. But yeah, imply and infer have the same. Sometimes the meaning of them and their function is the same. Imply يلمح, infer قارئ يستنتج. Yes, exactly. Yes, Jury. However, I just want to stress the information that imply sometimes have some sort of timeline. Okay, what happened before, what happened after, sometimes, not always. Thank you for coming, everyone. Thank you, Abdul Malik, Hisham, everyone. Thank you, Riyuf. Thank you, Mohammed. Thank you, everyone. Again, أنا معليش طلابي يعرفون منهم عبد الملك هنا، عبد الله. يهدينا. طلابي يعرفون أنا مزعج شوي من الناحية هذه. But please, والله for your own benefit, okay? Have a long-term plan. Work on your reading comprehension, okay? And reading fluency and speed. Okay, بتحتاجون انكم تقرون كثير ان شاء الله لما تتخصصون. Okay, بتحتاجون انكم تقرون كثير. القراءة هي الوسيلة العلمية الوحيدة يعني. Okay, كلها بتكون عندكم مصادر ومراجع واطلس. Okay, atlases. فلازم تبدون تشتغلون على هذا الشيء. بيجيكم ان شاء الله يعني بروفيسور ولا دكتور بيعطيك محاضرة مثلا 10 سلايدات ويقول لك شوف لي المرجعين هذول ادرسهم. ما في يعني خططنا ولا سوينا الا اذا دكتوركم يعني حبايب مرة. But anyway, it is absolutely essential to work on your reading comprehension and speed fluency. If you are not very confident, you can always try the KWL method. What do I know? What do I want to know? What I learned. Okay, quiz. Okay, you can always practice with that. Have a long-term plan. Improve your reading skills. It is absolutely essential, okay, for your success when you major, when you go to college. Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you for coming, Walid. Thank you. One of my students. Good luck. Thank you all. Thank you very much. All right. You too. Have a great day, Saleh. All right, thank you very much for coming. Have a nice day. Stay safe, inshallah, outside. See you, inshallah. I don't know if I see you again. But you have my email address and everything here. I'll leave it. If you have any questions, you can always contact me.
Thank you أستاذ فهد، يعطيك ألف عافية.
الله يعافيك أستاذة. لا معليش طولنا عليكم. أخذنا ربع ساعة زيادة.
استفدنا معهم، أنا صراحة استفدت مع الطلاب.
الله يعطيك العافية أستاذة.
Looking to see you إن شاء الله again in the future.
إن شاء الله. I'm happy to do so.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay, class خلص. Everyone, if you want to leave, you can leave. I'm just trying to answer Raghad's question here. Can I improve in critical thinking? Again, I'm so sorry, Raghad, there is no one way to improve. Okay, as I said, like when critical thinking is about